back to episode 2 of the ShElite Showcase. I am your hostess with the mostest, Katie Baby.
Baby. I gotta keep it going.
I understand, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Joined with me, of course, is my beautiful co-host, the Hangman Adam Page to my Adam Cole, as we discussed last week.
We're the Adams.
We are the Adams. One of the nicest people I have never met in person via only online, Miss Y2 Garcia herself, Savannah. How are you doing?
All right. Just a little bit sick, but I was still super excited for the show. I went through on a face of makeup, and I was like, just fucking let's do this, because I was not going to miss by episode 2. Okay, you gotta at least get a good 30, 40 episodes in before you miss one, okay? So being a little sick is not gonna stop me. Other than that, I'm fine. I'm really good. It's been a really crazy week in the wrestling community.
Yeah, it doesn't help that you were popping off right before we started recording.
Oh yeah, but they don't know that.
Well, I mean, the people
live.
who are live on twitch.tv/SmackDrop Podcast know that. But the people watching on youtube.com/SmackDrop Podcast do not know that. Nor do the people listening where they can go listen to their podcasts. Because there's so many. I don't even, like Spotify, Apple, iTunes. I used to know a list. I do not now. So
okay, just if you can listen to a podcast there, we're there.
Exactly.
So
probably more than likely, I think.
Unless it's some weird ghetto shit, then probably not. But
fuck. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, I can't. I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Oh no.
Oh no. Episode 2, people.
Episode 2. It's like I haven't been doing this for a year yet. How was your 4th of July weekend? I was gonna get there eventually.
It was good. I celebrated on the 3rd and the 4th. And I got rained on both times. And it was windy that day, both days also, so I'm pretty sure that's the reason why I got a little sick. Because I refused to go inside. I wanted to pop fireworks, because in El Paso, fireworks have been illegal for years. So this year, we had a bunch of rain before 4th of July weekend, and so they were finally legal. And so I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna not blow fireworks. So I stayed outside despite it raining and it be windy. As a result,
now you're sick.
But it's okay, because I'm pretty sure next year and the many years after, fireworks will be illegal again. So
y'all just popped off too much, I'm guessing?
Probably.
See, I was gonna go to fireworks, but then I was like, well, I worked. And then I had to go home, pick up my brother and my niece, go back out to where I just was, because that's where my aunt lives. And then I just got to sit in a pool for 3 hours. But I was also babysitting at the same time, watching my nieces. So I was not in the mood to do fireworks. Where I live, I can see 2 other not counties, boroughs, I guess. I can see their fireworks from walking 2 feet away from my house. So why go deal with stupid drunk people in a park when I can just stand on the sidewalk and watch them from there?
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean, we all celebrate differently. Again, it's just for me. They've been illegal. I wanted to pop shit.
As you should. If they were illegal, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I see Matt in the comments still saying sick. I'm like, you know what, Matt?
What are you gonna say to him? What are you gonna say to him?
I'll send you a box of my snot rags. We'll see who's sick then.
Ew. Jesus.
I'm like, I got a garbage can full of them, so... So we'll see who's sick then.
Damn. Is that a threat?
No, it's a promise.
Jeez. Okay. Well, I don't know how we're gonna move on from that, but so
just do it. We always do.
Exactly. So we're just gonna move on. Nothing. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Some news and rumors. We are basically taking over news and rumors now, instead of having it its own show. So there's just a few Just news related things, nothing rumor wise that we're gonna talk about on here.
I was gonna say, I'm like, there is one,
There's one, but it kind of
but we're not gonna speak of it live. Well, we did do it live, but not on the actual
not the
recording.
recording. Yes.
We're not going to.
Um, first thing, it happened earlier this week. I don't remember what day it happened. Jimmy Uso was arrested for a DUI. He was again. I believe this is the second time in 2 years, second or third time in 2 years. He was going 50 and like a 25, 30, I think a 35. He ran a red light, got pulled over. They did a breathalyzer. He blew a .205. Now,
and what's the like, I guess, minimum like alcohol content you can have in yourself?
.08.
And he had .2?
Yeah.
Shit. Wow.
Second in 2 years, third since he's been a public figure. Thank you, TC.
Do you not learn, or I wonder what makes you like. I guess because he's never really been like held accountable for it. Like he never got released. He was never put like on unpaid leave. Like he was just written off. So I feel like that's probably why he doesn't learn from it.
So speaking of that, I saw a lot of people on Twitter bitching and complaining because they were like, he's a part of the hottest storyline right now. Why does that matter? I don't care if he's in
someone.
I don't care if he's in the best, the worst, or not on TV at all. If he's out there drinking and driving, putting himself and others at risk, fuck your storyline.
Well, yeah, I was getting like, what if things like, luckily he got pulled over and no one was hurt, but what if that wasn't the case? What if he got into an ugly accident and he possibly, ended someone else's life? First of all, that's not only prison time, but like, is that still an excuse to get him like to defend him? Like, oh well, yes, he's in a good storyline, let's just keep him in. It's like, no, like he needs to be held accountable. Things could have gone so much worse.
Yeah. And
each time that he's been like, this has happened to him, he's gotten lucky, honestly, that he hasn't hurt someone or killed someone doing this, because I've seen many stories where things don't end up the same way, like for most people, sometimes it's a lot worse.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and I guess maybe he just doesn't think about that. Maybe he doesn't think about, like, it's kind of like, I guess some people think of the what ifs and people think of like, well, it didn't happen, so don't ask the what ifs,
Yeah. According to our inside source, the Usos were supposed to win the tag titles at SummerSlam. But now they are not, because Jimmy needs to legitimately go get help.
At this point,
I mean, he should have gotten help before this happened, for the first time it happened.
Yeah.
But I don't even want to go into like all of that. That's a whole nother show. That's hours of content.
Yeah. So okay. So I guess my question is, who do you think will probably, if we'll even have a tag match now at SummerSlam, or who do you think will be the challengers? Because their tag division is so bad. Like women's tag division, Raw and SmackDown.
God.
Maybe they can have an NXT debut. I don't know. Like maybe they can have like an open challenge, because they can say, "Oh look, the Usos couldn't make it. I wonder why." Don't say why, but like just talk.
Alpha Academy, I guess. That's the only team I can even think of, because you don't want to put it on Rude and Ziggler again. Rudolph.
Oh no.
Like,
but I was gonna say, like maybe have an NXT tag team debut, because like, SummerSlam, it's gonna be the first big pay-per-view since like the first of the big four.
I'll be there.
Like with the crowd, out of the pandemic era. So maybe, who knows? Maybe they can have like a debut tag team. So,
maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe it could be a team from NXT. Could be like Matt says, Biggie and Shinsuke.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see what they do.
But moving on to better news, we saw on SmackDown the return of Zelina Vega, which put all of those rumors about her going to AEW to rest. Even though I like they even said that she was like spotted at the PC. I was still shocked as hell to see her walk out
Well,
on
yeah, cuz
Friday.
like especially I hate to jump ahead a little, but like especially after what happened last night, it like you would have never thought like, they could have still been rumors, like at the end of the day they could have still just been like or or maybe she could have I don't know made a last minute decision to like back out.
Maybe. Imperium, they can't leave. Shut up, Matt. Yeah, sleeping on the sidewalk, but I will be at SummerSlam, so but that's backtracking.
Oh my god.
And speaking of returns, at Great American Bash, Wednesday night, Tuesday night, time's not real. Tuesday night,
Tuesday.
we finally saw who the battery was, and it was my girl Tegan Knox. I
I
was
know
so
the poor
happy.
thing, like the poor thing, like her knee. She was out with a knee injury for 9 months. Right? They said 9 months.
For the second time, yeah, this most recent
I
time
was gonna, I was gonna say she got attacked by Candice LeRae, and she unfortunately suffered a legitimate injury,
again
and onto her knee
to the
again.
other
Was
knee.
I know, right?
She
Poor Tegan. Tegan's knees are just fucked now.
she's
But
she's basically just robotic at that point in the legs.
I know
This poor
her
girl
and her poor knees. And then she finally made her return.
looking ready to go, good as ever. Shout
Yeah,
out, love
I
Tegan
just
Knox.
I just hope she could just stay away from the injury list.
Stop.
Obviously, it's out of her control. Obviously, it's out of her control. I'm not trying to like not like shit on her or anything. There's nothing against her. I just it's kind of like Samoa Joe. He comes back, he gets injured, and you're like, no, like he just got back. Like don't like why like you can't help but like just it hurts.
It it sucks. I was so sad when she got injured in the Mae Young
Right?
Classic, and
Yeah, you.
then
Oh, that broke my heart. Oh, and then seeing Triple H talk to her afterwards, like
made me cry.
that was
It was so
heartbreaking.
sad.
But I know you're probably not gonna like me. Like, you don't want to hear this, but when I was in high school, I took an anatomy class, and my teacher said there are three things in your body that once you injure, they'll never be the same again: your brain, your back, and your knees. So she's fucked up both her knees now.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, they're never gonna be the same. They're never
Oh
gonna
no.
go back to normal. So I just hope she's like, because she's
Careful.
obviously, yeah, she's more injury prone now. But I'm not only hoping she's careful. I hope everyone else is careful around her. Like I hope people kind of think about like she's got both knees are bad now.
Yeah.
We don't want her to be injured again. So just kind of take it easy when you like
I can't have Tegan be injured again. I physically cannot. My heart cannot take it.
I know, just the poor thing. Like, I don't want her to be out for another 9 months or many months
Yeah.
again. Like, she needs her time to shine. She needs her time to grow as a wrestler. Like, and being injured is never. It's not gonna get you anywhere,
No,
honestly.
it's not.
Especially because like, luckily it's NXT. But if it was the main roster, she probably would have been buried on the spot.
Which
Because that's
main
exactly what happened with Finn Balor. He was out for months and he got completely destroyed
Yep.
on the main roster when he
Oh
came
yes,
back.
he did.
So I hope the same treatment isn't given to Tegan, but I have high hopes considering she's on NXT, not the main
Exactly.
roster.
She's with the best women's division. So,
Yes.
um, and then the big one, probably the debut that happened on Dynamite
Yes.
Wednesday night. He is no longer Aleister Black. He is no
Or
longer
Tommy End.
he's no longer Tommy End. Malachi Black. And listen,
Malachi, that's his name. I suck at pronunciation, so I was like Malachi. I was like, how do you say this dude's name?
Malachi.
Malachi. Okay,
Now, listen, I was just sitting here minding my own business. I was like, the lights went out once already. Maybe they are actually having like power issues. I
right?
legitimately screamed. I was like, no fucking. I lost my shit. I didn't expect it.
This is why one of my suggestions when we were planning the show is a watch along where we can watch live, so you can get reactions like that on live.
No, that is
Like,
for like I hurt my throat. I was freaking the fuck out so much.
if you saw me at like my reaction to the Bucks winning the tag team titles at Full Gear, like that would have been like, you would love to see it, you know, like just reactions like that, like genuine reactions of your favorites winning, losing, whatever. That's why I think watch alongs are pretty fucking hilarious. And then it's also, you can get audience interaction through that, you know, you can talk in the chat as well. But that's just me.
I see. I can't. I need to do that in private or just with other fans. I can't because
You
I'm
can make it exclusive to
no,
Patreons.
not stop it.
It's a marketing tactic.
Marketing. Speaking of, I'm trying to get us merch. I'm in the process of it.
Ooh, like if you come up with the design or whatever.
Actually, yeah, I'm glad Reek brought that up. So, the thing going around is that they never
they
updated Aleister Black's
contract.
90-day. So the 30 days no compete clause. They never bumped it up to 90.
Because in NXT it's 30 days, but when you go to the main roster it becomes 90 days, and they had many years to do it. They just never did, and that's on them.
And here's something I think I saw a tweet about. What if they just didn't care? They said, "Listen, we released you. We're not going to make you wait the 90. We'll just give you the 30." I mean, they've done it before.
Well, cuz like
he's never spoken ill will of the company even after he was released, and people were mad that he didn't.
I know. I think that's what people expect, and I'm just think, yeah, it's like, especially if like, if they don't want to be upset about it, they don't have to be upset about it. If you want to be upset about it, fine, go ahead, I guess. But you know, you don't have to leave on bad terms all the time.
Exactly.
You can leave on good terms.
Exactly. So
like Paul White did. He left on good terms. He told Vince, and he was like genuinely wished the best. And he like, even apparently like Vince told like Paul that he knew he was going to be doing great things in AEW.
Yeah. So
like,
it really
you have to end on bad terms.
It really just depends. Like, some people don't even get like they don't have like the 30 days, or if they do, it's like, okay, they'll still show up somewhere, but then they won't like do anything until it's the whole situation's weird. Whether they did it on purpose or not, all we know is that Malachi Black is now in AEW, and he kicked the shit out of Cody Rhodes. So,
which I completely popped for, because I can go on
about
how much I don't like Cody.
Cody?
Cody, yeah, Cody.
It's alright.
The wannabe Dusty. Don't ever be Dusty. Wow. I can go on, like, you know, RN's rants, I can make a rant myself about Cody Rhodes.
Hey, more power to you. A lot of people would probably agree. A lot of people would probably hate it. So.
And I don't care. It's my opinion.
Exactly, your opinion. Don't get mad at me.
Like, no, I know. I'm just saying, like, in general, to like anyone who would hate it.
It's your opinion. You're allowed to have your own opinion.
You know, people don't like, you know, people, you don't know how many people I see talk shit about the Bucks and Kenny on Twitter all the damn time. I'm like, I'm not gonna, and I don't go arguing with them. I'm like, I don't like what they said, but I'm not gonna go instigate shit. Like,
you have your opinion. Like, I have my opinion. Like, why does it?
You don't need to like internet and start arguing.
Internet beef is not worth it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I know.
We're just gonna move on to
go ahead.
The women's wrestling history facts. So today is July 8th as we upload this. Last year, Great American Bash was 2 nights. This was the second night of the Great American Bash. Candice LeRae, who was just freshly heel, or she only was for a little bit at the time, defeated Mia Yim in a street fight. The match was awesome.
Yeah, I remember I watched that match. I didn't watch it live because I wanted to watch AEW, but I remember actually going back to watch it on the network, and it was a freaking phenomenal match. It was really good.
Was. And to look at where, well, Mia Yim's currently like MIA.
So not her fault, but
not necessarily her fault. We don't really know what is going on with her and Keith Lee. That's their business. I'll let them
Yeah.
be. But Candice went on to win the the NXT women's tag titles with Indy Hartwell. They just lost on Tuesday thanks to Tegan, which kind of screwed up my picks.
It screwed up
But
my prediction too.
Tegan came back, so I was okay. It's fine. So like it's interesting to see what a year can do, because
Yeah.
now like the Way is a thing, and they're one of the most popular factions. It's like Hit Row, the Way, Diamond Mine.
And not just that, but we were still pretty fresh into the pandemic. We were only like maybe 4 months officially in, because I consider like being in the pandemic since like March of last year, because that's when the world completely shut down, and that's kind of when it was declared a global pandemic. So it's crazy how just a year ago we were still, trying, they were still just trying to get entertainment out there, but still trying to like make sure none of their workers got the virus.
Exactly. Like they had to take care of their own, which
Yeah.
I get.
We were Yeah, I understand. It's just crazy, like how now we have vaccines. We're getting crowds back. They're gonna go on tour. So it's just crazy that how a year ago we were no fans. Some people didn't even want to go to work
Yep.
because like some wrestlers didn't want to even show up because of the
Mhm.
pandemic.
Mhm.
And now we're just slowly going back into that normalcy that we were all used to from 2019.
Now we're getting back to. I go to my first live show in 2 years in 2 weeks.
I know. Well, actually, you know what? I'll save this for after the after we go off, because it's just something that like I was told like personally. Like this
Oh,
is a
okay.
personal
All right.
story, so I can do that afterwards.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So getting into our AEW recaps. Now, this isn't the main show. This isn't Dynamite. This is BTE, Dark Elevation, and Dark. Now,
Yes.
being the Elite was an interesting one this week.
Ooh.
Savannah, do you want
That
to talk
was
about what happened on BTE and how it kind of translated to Dynamite on Wednesday?
sure. So, first of all, let me just point it out there. I might have to stop this when school starts, but I make my schedule, like my daily schedule, it revolves like around BTE. So I won't go to the gym during when BTE comes out. I either go before with time or I go right after. And if I have stuff to do, I say I gotta watch something really quick. It's like 30 minutes. I say 30 minutes because sometimes it's really long.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like take BTE seriously. I have notifications on whenever it comes on. So I'm like just goes to show I'm pretty like what's the word, like I love BTE, okay,
You're
and I watch it
dedicated.
yeah, dedicated,
Dedicated.
to say the least to BTE. So when I saw Monday's episode, oh my god, I almost completely lost it because two big things happened that coincide that are in continuity with the storyline of Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one, the Dark Order has been kicked off being the Elite by the Young Bucks.
Disrespectful.
They are no longer have bits. They were told to go to the AEW. This is the Young Bucks saying this. These are their words, not mine. But they were told to go to the AEW Dark of YouTube shows for them and go to Sammy's vlogs.
Yep.
And then they were like, they're all the Dark Order, and -1 was there too when
That's
they
just
got kicked
disrespectful.
off. I know. I was like, oh my god, they're in front of the kid. They're kicking them off, and basically they were talking about how we made you guys famous, and you guys owe us, and we never got a thank you. So they kicked them off. No more Dark Order bits for being the Elite, which I'm honestly kind of sad about. But to be honest, I only started watching them because of Hangman. But speaking of
Hangman,
while they were strutting out of the bar, which is where they like to hang out, it is the bar, right? Like, or not the bar, but some
there's like
area
a
that has
there's like a
bar.
bar in the background of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, as they were strutting out, very proud of what they just did. Hangman is walking back into the room, and they pass by each other, and they just kind of share a quick glance, and oh my god, like I told Katie this, Hangman needs an Oscar for that, because just his reaction alone to like having a little one-on-one like standoff, like face off, looking at the Young Bucks, oh my god, like it just hit me so hard. It was really good acting. It was really well put together. Just and it was so quick too. I hit my mic. It was so quick.
That's one.
And you're counting.
I'm
You know
gonna
what? Go
count.
ahead. Go ahead, count. I'll give you two. Um, it was so quick, and but it was so like just the meaning, just that one look Hangman had just had so much meaning. It spoke volumes, and that really kind of has to do with the storyline, especially because after Dark Order called out Kenny, they did bring that up. They're like, what do you think you know about Hangman and stuff before they kicked him off the show? So that has to do, that definitely ties into the storyline that they are in right now. And this worries me just a little because the Bucks had their little standoff with Hangman. I'm starting to worry that whenever Hangman does challenge Kenny for the title,
You think the Bucks are gonna screw him?
they're gonna try to at least. I'm hoping that with the Dark Order on their back and be like as revenge for kicking him off being the elite, the Dark Order will step in, the good guys, the heroes, and they will stop the Bucks and the rest of the elite from interfering or costing Hangman the title. But there's still, to say I'm not worried at all is a complete lie. I'm still worried because Hangman still costed them a match.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Out.
He did cost them.
So I
the
could
match,
see them
so.
trying. I could see them trying. I just hope they don't succeed when they do try. But
exactly.
who knows? So now we gotta patiently wait for being the elite to come back on to see what they'll do or say about that. But I also, just a small thing to add in, when they did like pass by each other, they started playing that sad music they usually do whenever something sad's going on between them. They played it, and I was like, I don't know why. Just hearing that music, just I'm like, why? Like, why must you hurt me like this?
Gets you in the heart. Plays with your feelings.
Yeah, like just the music doesn't help either. So you have the really good reaction on Hangman.
Yep.
And then you have the music.
It's just disrespectful at that point.
Yeah, you're just like, damn, why don't you just like fuck with my heartstrings? So yeah, that's what happened. And I'm really excited but nervous to see where that takes the storyline, because they're really like, from just on the televised show to their YouTube channel, they're really bringing the storyline to life, and I love it. But it's also so nerve-wracking. So nerve-wracking.
and that's like one of the biggest storylines on Dynamite right now is this Kenny Hangman
Probably
feud.
In wrestling, not just Dynamite.
Yeah.
Or AEW. In wrestling, I feel like
it's definitely very well talked about.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And I love it.
Having the Dark Order as backup is like having the Mathletes back you up in a fight. That's, I mean, I'm.
You know what, Matt?
Go ahead.
I'm trying
Tell
to think
Savannah.
positive. I'm just saying, I'm trying to think positive. And you know what? If they can at least just yank the butts off the apron and just give them a good clubbing, or spray the cold spray in their eyes to prevent them from, interfering any longer, so be it. Or even if they just chase them out of the ringside area, who cares? It's still helping.
It's something.
So let them Mathletes help him, help the Cowboy. And then Bama said, Bucks will screw him at All Out, then he'll challenge again at Full Gear, and on the 1-year anniversary of when he and Kenny fought for the first time last year, and this time he'll win. I could see that happening, but I don't think Bam was here for my rumor.
Oh, he was not. That is for after.
So I'm not gonna say the rumor, but I'm just saying maybe his opinion will be different if he was here earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's move on. We're not gonna talk about it.
So from BTE to Dark Elevation, we had Thunder Rosa defeating Leela Gray. I'm gonna fuck up so many of these names. Jesus. So bear with me. Scorpio Sky defeating Marcus Cross, not to confuse with Karrion Cross. Hikaru Shida defeating Danny Jordan. Orange Cassidy defeating Angelico. Serena Deeb defeating Tasha Price. And Dante Martin defeating Serpentico. So that's Dark Elevation, right? 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6 matches, right? Easy.
Before
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say before you get into AEW Dark, I just want to say something that kind of disappoints me. I know it's kind of like it's still their own shows, but like it's their YouTube shows and they don't get a bigger audience. So it kind of disappoints me. And I've kind of noticed this more with the women than the men. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But like once the women are like, for example, Thunder Rosa, after her lights out match with Britt Baker, she's been pushed off the side to Dark and Dark Elevation. Same with Hikaru Shida. She was the longest reigning women's champion, loses at Double or Nothing, is now on Dark Elevation. It's like, why can't she still have matches on Dynamite? You know, the women still like, why must they just be booted to the YouTube shows? You know that not many people watch.
I understand. I mean, granted, now that they have live crowds again, people get to see them live, which is good. But I do understand what you're saying. It's only on YouTube, which does suck. And so again, Dark Elevation, 6 matches, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah.
Dark had 17 matches. I counted
they don't even have that
twice.
Many on pay-per-view. They don't even have that many on pay-per-view.
Exactly. Like, I haven't heard of half of these fucking people.
Not just that, but they don't even have like in 2 pay-per-views. They don't even have that many matches.
I don't even understand. So let me just run this list down. I literally need to hold this up because I wrote them all down. Tay Conti defeats Killian King. Wheeler Yuta defeats Ryan Baby Ziggler. Baby Dolph Ziggler. Chris Statlander defeats Viva Van. The Blade beats Trey Lamar. QT and Aaron, whatever the hell his last name is, defeat Terrell and Terrence Hughes. Lance Archer defeats Ryan Mantle. Angelico, who had a match again, that's 2 in a row, defeats Prince Kai. Abaddon defeats Natalia Markova. Jack Evans defeats Mike Seidel. Sean Spears and Wardlow defeat Hunter Knott and I don't even know what his name is. I can't read my own writing. Penta El Zero Miedo and Eddie Kingston defeat the Chaos Project. Varsity Blondes defeat Chad Lennox and Zachariah. Matt Seidel defeats Charlie Bravo. Bear Bronson defeats Big Trouble Bishop. I'm not kidding on half of these names, by the way. These are their names. Marco Stunt and Fuego del Sol, who got his first win after 32 losses, defeat Baron Black and Ryzen. Red Velvet defeats Ashley Vox. And the Dark Order, which consisted of 10, 5, Reynolds, and Colt Cabana, defeat, what are their names? Chandler Hopkins, Dan Alexander, Will something. Oh, Will Allday and Jason Hodge.
Jeez Louise.
I'm like out of breath.
First of all, how short were these matches? Or like, did they not have like interviews or promos, which is like match,
no, and they still had the waiting room. Like Britt, shout out the waiting room. Shout out to Dr. Britt Baker. Yeah, that was on Dark too. DMD. Yes, I'm wearing the shirt. If you're watching the video. Yeah, and that had like Joey Janela teasing like a heel turn on Sunny Kiss, and that was just stupid because who the fuck gives a fuck about Joey Janela? Not me.
Damn. Okay.
I mean, what? He's not doing anything.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, damn.
So, listen.
But my question is
yes.
that if, like, for example, Eddie Kingston and Penta.
Yes.
Why are they having matches, like, especially if you're having 17 matches in one show, why are you having people who have a storyline on Dynamite? Like, why do you especially if you have like, because if you need a book of like a show, fine, but if you already have so many matches, why even like add matches that have, or why include them? Why include these matches?
I'll tell you this. 17? It's exactly what they used to do in the beginning when Dark was first being started. They had the Box and Kenny and Hangman. It's just to get notice for the show. Granted, you don't need 17 fucking matches.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's like, also 2 hours.
That's what I'm saying. So if you have if you already have a storyline, especially Eddie Kingston and Penta, who are in this really good storyline with the Elite, the Bucks, you know, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't need to have a match, especially if people want to say, "Oh, it's for the storyline." I'm like, they're doing perfectly fine with the storyline,
There's a lot of
especially
people who had matches that were in good storylines.
yeah, and that's
Orange
what
Cassidy, the Blade,
Chris
they're in a fucking feud. Chris Statlander,
and, and that's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying.
QT, like
That's what
there's
that's
so many.
and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, especially if there were 17 matches. I'm like, did you really need to have these matches with
Yeah, you
people
didn't.
who already have good storylines going,
You didn't.
especially if like back to the back to Eddie Kingston and Penta who are in the feud with the Bucks. They still have shit going on being the elite. They may not have like full on segments like the Bucks do, but they still show like stuff from Dynamite and they still talk about it and they like
Yep.
Matt has cut promos like on being the elite. So they already have that in itself. So you don't need to have a match on Dark unless you absolutely need it. But if you have 17 matches, you don't need to have people who have storylines on Dynamite, the televised show. You don't need to have them on your smaller shows
Your
for
YouTube
YouTube.
show.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna get worse when they have Rampage.
Oh, I know.
I don't.
Oh
Is that one only gonna be an hour?
I have no idea.
So whatever
so.
whatever the hell Rampage ends up being, I'll find out August 13th. Shout out.
When you go.
That'll be the first episode. I'm so excited. And that's literally right before. It's literally the weekend before I go to Vegas too.
Nice.
I'm very excited. It's so much happening. And granted, I love AEW. That's how I met Savannah. I love it, but
thank you, Young Bucks.
shout out to the Young Bucks. But like, it's a lot. Nobody
it is a lot.
has time to watch that.
I also think it's a lot in too short of time. Like I don't think like they had AEW and then Dark happened not too long after, which is fine. It's kind of like when they said it's a good way to like have people like wrestlers who are
it was like an hour.
Yeah, that's fine. But then they had Dark Elevation, which is pretty much like
another hour.
But it's like, what's the difference? I don't know what the difference is. Is there a difference? Or are they just both? They're just two different shows. One's on Monday, one's on Tuesday.
They're two different shows, to my knowledge. They are two different shows. Yeah, that's
two different shows. But is it the same thing?
I think so, bro. I don't watch it. I don't have time.
I know, but I'm just saying, like in general, if anyone else knows, like
yeah, if anyone else knows, shout out. Let us know.
So. And then, not too long, like, Dark Elevation happened this year, and now Rampage is gonna happen. I thought Rampage was gonna happen next year.
It was supposed to.
Why bring it so... I know it's for ratings, and I know you're trying to build your brand up, but it's becoming a lot. Like, and if they can pull it off, kudos to them. I'm very happy. But I just think it's a lot in very short amount of time. And I know you're trying to, like, keep up, or if not, try and pass, like, the big monster that's WWE. But, like, you can do it with time. You're still gonna be here in 5-10 years. You're still gonna be here for 50 years. You can do this shit with time. It's you don't have to. There's no rush. We're still gonna be here. We're still gonna love AEW. We're still gonna be good old fans who don't care about the booking, who's gonna pretend to threaten to boycott it if things don't go your way, but then still watch it out of anger. Like, we'll still be here as fans. We will still be here as fans. And if it works, good for them. And that's like, I genuinely mean that. But I just think they're going about this way too fast.
They're just trying to do too much at one time. So they just have to.
I think so too.
Key point: they just need to chill out. That's the main point here.
By 2022, they're just gonna have like 6 shows or something.
Stop trying to put evil out into the world, Savannah.
One day of each week, and then the pay-per-views are on Sundays.
Stop it now. Let's move on away from AEW, or maybe not.
I know.
Like I said last week, we're gonna do our personal wrestlers of the week.
Yeah,
so
all opinion based.
These are opinion based for each other. So do you want to start, and B, do you want to start with your male, your female, or your tag team?
I was thinking about this, and honestly, like, it's kind of hard to like decide. So, but then again, like, I don't want you to like say yours and be like, oh, that's mine too, because I don't want to steal your idea or like seem like I wasn't paying attention or anything. So I do have a tag team. for
Okay.
sure.
So we'll go back and
Um,
forth with tag team. So say your tag team and why.
I'm obviously I'm gonna have to go with this. Isn't me be well, probably some maybe it is biased. I don't know. I'm going with the Young Bucks
Yep.
because of their street fight they had yesterday. It was a really good match in my opinion. I watched it in my car in a parking lot on my phone.
That's shady.
I
What are
was
you doing in your
out.
car in a parking
No, like
lot?
it was like I don't know why I say parking lot. It was a driveway, like to a family member's house. Everyone left, and I was like, I'm gonna leave too, and I did not leave. I pulled up my phone and I put on the match on the DirecTV app, and I watched on my phone in the driveway
There
of
you go.
my uncle's house
There you go.
because I wanted to watch it, and I'm so glad I did because it was super good. And I just first of all, I guess the only down that I will give it is that Matt didn't bring up the thumbtack shoe. That would have been perfect.
He didn't bring up the thumbtack shoe. Disrespectful, honestly.
Matt, come on now. Like I'm on your team here, you know. But
So that's
it
so
was
that's your tag team.
yes, it was a really good match, and I just wanted to point out a couple things. The spot where they took the thumbtacks, not only the spot with the thumbtacks, I really like. They threw them in their in Penta's eyes, I think, and Eddie's eyes. They all I know
They
is like
started just throwing
thumbtacks
fucking
met
thumbtacks.
eyes. Thumbtacks met eyes, and it was holy shit. It was good. And then the final super kick, which they put a handful of thumbtacks
In
in
Eddie's
Eddie
mouth.
Kingston's mouth, and they super kicked the shit out of him.
Yep.
And 1, 2, 3, the Young Bucks are still your tag team champs. For that reason, they are, in my opinion, the tag team of the week. So
Okay. Here we go. I was struggling so hard to find a tag team because I was just like running through each show. I was just like, was there even a tag match? Was there even a tag match? I was like running through my head, right?
yeah,
Um. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong because I really don't remember. There's too many shows. Did Big E and Shinsuke have a tag match on Friday?
fuck, I can't help you there. I didn't watch. I was out.
I need Matt or Kyle for confirmation. They did. Thank you, Reek.
They did.
That's my tag
Reek.
team. Now look at Reek pulling through. Thank you. That's my tag team of the week. Big E and King Nakamura. Because A, fuck Baron Corbin. B, the chemistry between the two of them, ridiculous.
Would you want them to see them? Would you want them to win the tag titles? That's
honestly, if Big E doesn't win the Money in the Bank
Money in the
briefcase, then yes. If E wins the case, no, because you know you know how I feel about
double champions and shit like that.
I don't even want to get into it.
Agree. No, I know, and I agree. I'm
Of course.
completely with you on that. Okay, so I guess let's go with now the women wrestler of the week. I had 2 in mind.
Okay.
Oh, actually, fuck no, 3 in mind.
It's 1.
I'm sorry. Like I know, but I had 3, and I have different reasons.
You are cheating the system already. This is the first time
it's
we're doing
opinion based.
I said 1 apiece.
I know, but I'm going with 3 this one time. Okay, just this one.
I'll allow it.
Okay. Oh, how generous.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Like maybe you can help me decide, but I can tell you my options. Okay, these are the options, not my 3.
Okay.
1 is Chris Statlander because she did a really good job in her mixed tag match.
Okay.
And her area 451 splash on the blade was really good.
Okay.
I really liked that spot. The 2 other options are it's mostly because of the returns. Zelina Vega because she came back, and if I remember correctly, again I wasn't able to watch, but I kind of tried and looked for results. She came back. She was in a Money in the Bank qualifier match and she won.
Sonya announced her as the next competitor in Money in the Bank, so she's already qualified.
Okay,
and then she had a match against Liv Morgan and lost.
Oh, she lost her match. Okay, because
yes.
all I know is I saw her that she was in Money in the Bank, so I was like, did she win a qualifying match?
No, Sonya's out here giving basically everyone a spot besides Liv. So
poor Liv. But yeah, just because of her return alone, because I know the rumors were going rampant on social media, so that's why Zelina Vega was an option. And then Tegan was an option because she not only came back from her poor 9 months away from injury, and then costing the women's tag team champions their titles. That's some petty shit there. So you know what? I think with that, I'm probably gonna have to go with Tegan Knox. Like that's petty shit, and I'm here for it.
You know what? This is gonna. We agree. Tegan was my pick. She came back.
Yeah.
I have been a fan of Tegan since the first Mae Classic. Shout out to the LGBTQ plus community. Shout out Tegan. Love her. She came back. She's pissed off at Candice. Cost Candice and Indy the titles. Is hell bent on ruining Candice's life. Her returning gives us a little glimmer of hope that Team Kick will reunite, even though Dakota's a heel, but that's besides the point. So yeah, Tegan coming back. Hands down.
Yeah.
She's our female wrestler of the week.
Yeah, and this is why I wanted to go first, because if your pick was gonna be Tegan, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, like I don't want anyone to think my pick's Tegan just because your pick was Tegan, you know?
I mean, and if people like we have similar opinions about stuff, so it's okay.
That's true. Okay, and then male wrestler. This one was also a hard one, honestly, for me. I think you can go first for this one.
No,
I had someone in mind.
Go ahead.
Fuck. Okay, you know what? I guess I was gonna say fuck. Because I can't pronounce his name. Malachi. I was like, I can't pronounce shit. Malachi Black.
Okay.
Because he made his debut, and he is obviously gonna be in a feud with Cody because he kicked the shit, or not kicked, but he kicked the shit out of Cody, but then he attacked Arn as well. So
he attacked Arn first.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Which
prompted Cody's bitch ass to come out.
I know, and like his suit and stuff. I'm like,
that's the only thing. The only thing I loved about that. Malachi was in all black. Cody was in all white. I love like that cliche of like heel face, even though Cody's like not a face.
That is true. I didn't think of that, but it kind of just like reminded me. I'm like, this dude was just in a match. Like if he like, I don't know why he had to change. It's like he kind of dressed for the occasion, if you will.
Oh, 100%.
It's like, so I'm like, you could have just stayed in your gear, dude. It's not that big a deal. Like, what are you, Brandy from Double or Nothing 2019? Like, come on now.
Mine, I'm gonna go with my man Edge. Here's why.
I think I know why. I went back and watched this.
Straight up took a steel chair, didn't do a concerto like I thought. No. He just kicked the bottom part of it, used that singular like middle part for like the legs, and just choked the shit out of Jimmy Uso. Now it's kind of weird because like Jimmy Uso
was it like, Jimmy or Jay?
It was Jimmy. Jay's MIA. Jay's been missing for like 2 weeks now. Jimmy's Roman's bitch. It doesn't make sense.
So that could probably be a good way to write Jimmy out.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said that earlier. Because no, it's okay. Because like we mentioned in the beginning, all that stuff that happened with him.
What blasphemy, Matt?
I think not knowing Malachi's name. I think
Malachi. Oh, I'm like, that's the Cody shit. I don't give a fuck. Okay.
No, he doesn't like Cody. It's okay.
Okay, good. That's something we can agree on.
So I wanted to try and do like for that like the male female tag team. I wanted to try and do someone like from each show or like try not to be the same. But this was hard.
That's another thing too. Thinking about like who your pick is gonna be, because at first, this is why Chris Statlander was an option for the female. Yeah. But it's like if I went with her, that's 3 for AEW. I'm not someone who's one-sided. I still watch WWE. I still enjoy WWE. I still watch the pay-per-views. So that's just me. But like I don't want to seem that I'm one-sided or biased.
No, I mean ironically enough, I had 2 from SmackDown. Like.
Yeah.
Which that's like the one show I don't get to watch as much because I'm typically off on Fridays, so I get to like actually do stuff.
That one's the hardest one for me, and that's why Rampage is going to be so difficult for me to watch, and I'm very sad about it. Because usually on Fridays we're doing stuff. In the pandemic, super easy. We're always inside, nowhere to go. We're in quarantine. But now that the pandemic's over, we're going to be wanting to go out a lot more, and Fridays are the day to do it, so that's going to be a little bit harder. But I'm hoping that since it's on later, it's like at 8 p.m. my time. That's normally the time it starts for Eastern time. I'm going to start at 10 p.m. for y'all in Eastern time. So I'm hoping because it's late, I'll be able to watch.
Hopefully. So I'm sorry, I have to go to Instagram to find our question of the week.
Oh, nice. Our question of the week.
So, Kyle like kind of tweeted it already. It's kind of talking about the question, but not necessarily the question, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get you. It's in relation.
In relation. So, well, okay. First, last week I went to our show's Twitter at SmackDroppPod and using hashtag ShElite Showcase. I'm just trying to make things work at this point.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, we talked about our fantasy bookings for the NWA Women's Pay Per View. A lot of them were kind of like similar choices. Obviously, Thea Trinidad is off the table because Zelina's
Yeah.
back in WWE. But before I even talk about the question for this week, how do you feel about the name for the pay per view? Because that seemed to be a big thing. Is people weren't happy that it was called Empower.
I honestly like. It's like I don't like. It's not like, oh, that's the best name for a pay per view, but it's like it's not a bad name either. I think Evolution was probably a better name, but I don't think it's like the worst name out there. I feel like there was worse pay per view names out there.
Great Balls of Fire.
Exactly, that's the first thing I thought of.
Exactly, because it's the worst. So, I mean, I get why people don't like it, but at the same time, I get why they did it because NWA's show is just called Power, NWA Power. So, Empower, you know, feminism, empowering
Yeah.
women. So, I get it. It's not the best name in the world, but it's not the worst. So, I'm okay with
Definitely
it.
not the worst.
And I personally don't care what the name of a pay per view is. I'm still gonna watch it. Hell,
yeah.
we all suffered, or the majority of us probably suffered through the Great Balls of Fire random ass pay per view names.
And it's not just that, but it's like if you're really gonna let the name of the pay per view alone like get you that pressed, like you need to check yourself. Like it's just the name. The pay per view's not even here. It's not gonna be here for months. I'm pretty sure the whole card's
month.
not even.
Or next month.
Fuck, it's already next month. Shit, yep. I forgot it's July.
It's literally July 8th.
Fuck. I'm already losing track of time. But the fact is that the card's not even done. I'm sure there's still well over a month to go.
Yep.
And your people are getting pressed over the name. Like, calm yourself. It's just the name. Like,
yeah.
You're gonna let your opinion of the pay-per-view already be negative because of the name?
I mean, people like to get mad about anything and everything, so I'm just gonna let it happen. But for our question for this week, shout out to Jermaine, our mutual friend. He's the one who came up with this because we both were stuck on a question. So, shout out. What is your take on the Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page storyline? Do you love it or do you hate it? And you can go ahead when I tweet it, which I'll tweet probably tomorrow, maybe tonight. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
The tweet will be up probably when this goes up. Actually, no, I lied. It depends on when you watch this, because the YouTube
it will come up eventually.
The YouTube video goes up at 7 a.m. The audio version gets released tonight, so it really depends on how you're watching, listening. The question will just go to our Twitter and look out for it. Look out for hashtag ShElite Showcase. There you go. So let us know in the comments or the replies. You can reply on the YouTube too. Screw it. We can start doing that. I am getting all of my wires in my head tangled.
It's okay.
It's been a long week.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want you to go first?
Well, I mean, go for it.
Okay. Well, you kind of got a small taste of how I felt when I talked about being the elite. Just that one look between the Bucks and Hangman, that I was in love with that because of how real it felt and how much how a quick couple seconds just already spoke so much in this storyline alone. And the fact that they're already, the fact that they got the ball rolling now officially, because last week they brought it up. That's kind of like putting the ball down, when they brought up Hangman and, everyone's chanting for him. He didn't show up, but I know he got pissed at the Dark Order for bringing him up. and they told him they got his back, and that to not be scared of failure because that's what he's probably afraid of, not Kenny, but failure, which honestly that hits close to home, honestly. So I guess maybe that's another reason why I love the feud, because I love Kenny, I love Hangman, and just it's been so relatable. And I think that's another reason why I absolutely adore Hangman, especially now more than ever, is that I've been able to kind of relate to how he's felt, like his character,
Mm-hmm.
like on a deeper level. Like, and I'm not gonna go into detail because it's kind of personal, but like some of the things like he's felt or that he's gone through and what you've seen, I've I felt it. Like I felt like it kind of hit close to home. It
Mm-hmm.
related to me. So I guess that's another reason why I'm like really into the storyline. But I honestly love the storyline. I love it. Yes, it's long term. I've been a little impatient about Hangman getting his title, but I know what's gonna happen, and I know it'll be absolutely worth it, worth
Mm-hmm.
the wait when it happens.
Yep.
I'm gonna be so happy. I'm probably gonna be in tears when it happens. But I think it's the way they're telling the storyline and the way it relates to me on a personal level is what I love most about it, and that's what's really like empowering. Because I'm pretty sure there's many other people out there who are feeling the same way, who have their own like inner demons, like Hangman, who are dealing with this, and now they have something to relate to, like, oh
Mm-hmm.
well, look, like Hangman's going through this too, maybe I'm not so different, maybe I'm not so alone, maybe it's not just me. That's just something I've felt. So it's like that's one of the reasons why I love it, not just because it's a really good long-term storytelling, but the fact that it's kind of hit me on a personal level
Yeah.
with two wrestlers that I absolutely love and that I have loved for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super excited, super nervous, so many emotions going into the storyline. But to say I hate it, I will never hate it unless, of course they fuck over Hangman. But I am loving the storyline. So that's just what I have to say about it. So you can go ahead now, Katie.
No, I mean, it's one of the coolest storylines in wrestling right now. Looking at when they started, Bullet Club coming into All Elite, being fucking tag team champions, the breakup, Hangman not being able to beat Kenny, even on Tuesday. I almost said Wednesday again. Fuck. No, it was Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesdays.
Jesus.
Wednesdays
Oh my god. I'm never gonna figure it out. Whatever. They kept changing
on one of
days
the days.
sometime in the past week. Um, when they had the face to face, the key detail was the belt literally laying in the middle between the two of them, like on the mat. They're arguing,
Yeah.
and you can see the belt in the middle of them, and that was perfect. It's little things like that that I really love.
Product placement. It was
It
perfect.
basically it was just showing how. And I mean, you could have had Hangman go for the buckshot lariat, and he didn't. Except,
Oh
and
my
like,
goodness.
and they teased that at the end of Revolution, right?
I think so.
I when it was the Bucks versus Kenny and Omega, or
Yeah.
Kenny and Paige. Jesus, I'm
Kenny.
all over. Shut up! I'm all over the
No,
place
no, I
today. I
know.
don't know what's going on. Um, so obviously I love this, and when Hangman wins at All Out in the main event, because if it's anything other than that, I'm going to be pissed, and I will hate
So
it.
am I.
Um, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be well deserved. We don't need
I'm gonna
Kenny as the belt collector anymore. He's not doing anything with any of the belts.
I'm gonna
Just
bawl my
saying.
eyes out.
I'm
I'm
probably
gonna
gonna cry too because it'll be well deserved. Like Hangman he's so over with the crowd. It's crazy. I mean, cowboy shit. That's that's all we really need to say at this
and
point.
it's just like his journey. Like I know someone made like a Twitter thread which Hangman was not happy about.
I saw
It
that,
was a
yeah.
good thread. It was a good thread though, and it just kind of like going through all of this, like reading through it. I was like, wow, like he's come so
He
far.
has.
It's
And
like all coming together now. And I said this last week, I believe. He has not won a title, and I don't care if I sound like a broken record, but he has not won a title outside of the Indies, a singles title. He's always been put in a tag team, won the tag team titles,
yep,
lost them, went back as a singles wrestler, never won a singles title, got put into a tag team. Like it's just
it's a cycle.
it's a yeah, I was gonna say it's a repetitive. pattern on the booking for Hangman, which he did not deserve, especially in 2018. If you did not watch Hangman in 2018, I know people have said that is the year of Hangman. Obviously, this was before AEW, so obviously, this could be his year. But like, if you watched Hangman before then, that I can definitely agree with that. He was absolutely incredible in 2018, and I know he had challenged for the IWGP United States Championship and he lost. I was really upset. I know it was Jay White's first title defense, so I wasn't really expecting Heyman to beat him on his first title defense, but I thought at some point he would get the title. He didn't, and that really upset me because I have personally seen Hangman's potential and what he can be as a singles champion for so long, and it's just gonna be finally really, really good to see him not only win a singles title, but the first singles title he wins is the biggest title there is in the company that he's currently working in. The big one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be his first singles title outside of the Indies, not just in AEW, ever basically. Not in Ring of Honor, not in New Japan, not in AEW yet. He hasn't won a singles title, which is absolutely disappointing. And I hope I know they're obviously trying to work together. I don't know about Ring of Honor, but like New Japan and AEW are kind of working together. But I hope they see when Hangman wins what the fuck they were missing out on and the big mistake they made by not putting a singles title on him at least once while he was working there, because that was definitely missed opportunities on their part by not doing that.
There you go. Yeah. Nice long rant from Savannah talking about her love for Hangman.
I'm like, in case you haven't noticed, I'm like, where is he? He's right. You're
here. Like, he's somewhere over here.
I know. I'm like, sorry, Kenny, I just touched you, but
it's fine. Okay, so yeah, let us know in either the comments of this video if you're watching on YouTube or in the Twitter thread replies, whatever they're actually called.
Yeah.
This has been episode 2 of the ShElite Showcase.
Yeah, we made it to 2 episodes.
2 episodes, and we're just getting started.
Yes, that is correct.
So we will see you guys next week. And here's hoping the outro works, because OBS has been a pain in my ass. So you might get an outro, you might just get a blank screen. Fingers crossed. Okay, bye.